Perfect conditions for rugby league. Two teams have lost their last two games, but Manly sit up near the top of the table. The Roosters are down near the bottom. They're trying to avoid the dreaded wooden spoon. Let's look at the team changes. Manly have a couple. Steve Maddai is back from injury. He will start in jumper number 18. Steve Menzies goes back to the interchange bench in jumper number 4. Jamie Lyon has overcome a hamstring strain. He will start in 14. There is no Travis Burns tonight for Manly. Adam Cuthbertson is the new player on the interchange bench for the Sea Eagles. Michael Robertson will play his 100th first-grade game. The coach is Des Hasler. The Roosters have a number of change. Sam Perrott comes into the starting lineup in 21. Sean Kenny-Dowell is out. Prathan Astor moves from lock to halfback. Craig Wing from halfback to hooker. And that means Heath Lestrange joins Nate Miles on the interchange bench because David Chillington will start in jumper number 14. Ashley Harrison also starts. He wears jumper number 17. The coach of the Sydney Roosters is Chris Anderson. Gavin Badger is our first-grade referee. We're about to get play underway. Brookvale Oval, Saturday night, Super Saturday. And Manly get us underway. The Roosters defending the southern or Pittwater Road end of Brookie. And there's an ordinary pass to start. And luckily it went backwards for the Roosters. David Chillington. And Amos Roberts was the man who just threw it behind him. And that puts the Roosters under pressure right from the get-go.
Gee, very casual start there from Amos Roberts. Put his big man under all sorts of pressure. But Manly back at Brookvale Oval, only one loss this year, but they've lost 3 of their last 4 matches, and it's the defence. They need to get back to the defence that saw them only lose 1 game up to round 12.
Fitzgibbon pops it out the back, and there's Wing with the ball off the hands of Nutley, goes backwards, and Anasta picks it up. There's now Stewart. Returns the football for Manly. Here's Maddai. At 5 short of the halfway line. Here's King, penalty, first of the night. The Roosters inside the 10. About 15 short of the goal line. Manly with an opportunity here. Brent Kite. Monahan at acting half. Now they come forward through the barnstorming run of Jason King inside the 10. Orford pointing directions out to his left. They go to the right. Monahan out of acting half. Brett Stewart, Bell under pressure. Gets away from Perrott. Goes again and will score. Manly in with their second set and their first foray in the Roosters territory. The dream start for Manly. They lead 4-0 with a kick to come, and Stephen Bell gets his 4th for the year.
He's one of the centres in the competition with fantastic footwork. Second man play from Monahan. Look, Perrott all over Bell and able to step. Gee, he had Mitch Orbison clutching at air. Monahan out of dummy half. Good ball by Stewart, and just see Bell, little right foot step and able to break free of the tackle of Roberts. Terrific start by Manly.
Here's Orford. He struck it reasonably well, but it's just drifting to the left of the uprights, and it remains 4 points to 0.
Yeah, you spoke to Matt Orford before the game, and he said how important the start was for Manly, and they've certainly made a good one. Second man play, good ball by Brett Stewart, and the man that's so good at cutting back on the inside, Stephen Bell. Still had plenty of work to do to get the ball across the line. And they'll mean business here, Manly, tonight as the Roosters restart play.
So here come Manly. 15 out from their own line. Over the 30-metre line. Manly through Monahan. Now Lyon. And it comes to Stewart up to the 40. Tackled about 9 metres short of the halfway line. Here's Orford. Now it comes to Luke Williamson. He's tackled just shy of the halfway line. Plays the ball back, Monahan. Now here's the kick off. Off the back there of Anasta. It's in the air. taken the ground. The referee says he played it at Anasta, so the tackle count will restart. Now it comes to Steve Maddai. Here they come. Jamie Lyon now to Brett Stewart. Orbison with the tackle, but able to offload here to Bell. And Bell is now tackled inside the 10-metre line. Here's Monahan out of acting half. Williamson, good defence. He lost the football, terrific defence. Who was in there making the tackle?
Lost the ball.
Well, how's that playing at the ball?
It's come off his shoulders. And here's the play with Monahan. Good flat ball there.
Well, the Roosters playing with one player short because Fitzgibbon is getting some treatment into some blood at the back. So that's why they're packing one short. And Saar playing it just short, just over the 30-metre line. Here's Nutley. Solid contact there from Kite. He offloads under pressure and the ball is dropped from Sam Perrott.
Offloaded, Sam knocked it on.
It's those errors that are costly all year for the Roosters.
Well, that's two errors coming out of their own end and a penalty that have kept Manly down this end of the field and kept the pressure on the Roosters' defence.
Heads in. 2 heads, Matty. Side in, Matt. Out.
Here's Lyon. 35 metres out from the Roosters' line. Here's Matai. Plays the ball back. Now King. Here's Watmo up towards the 20. Tackled right on it here, Manly. Stewart. Now Lyon to the line, passing to Stewart. And it's up and over the 10. Ball popped back to Kite, and he's 5 metres away. Another opportunity here for Manly. Now here's Lyon. Orford kicking, cross field. Hicks has to wait for it, under pressure. Doesn't stay in.
He's going out. We're going to have a changeover.
He was very close, but the touch judge right there. And so it's a changeover.
Yeah, not the best kick from Matty Orford. Didn't give his winger much chance at all. Chris Hicks, all he could do was catch the ball and wait to be put into touch. Jamie Lyon, of course, back at 5'8" tonight. Travis Burns missing. Made his comeback, Travis Burns, after a bout of pneumonia last week against the Dragons, but not well enough to play tonight. And I suppose for the Manly club, this is their best back line, with Lyon at 5'8" as Anasta goes to the line, and Steve Maddai in the centres. For me, he doesn't look comfortable passing the ball as a pivot, Jamie Lyon.
Here's the kick from wing. It's down and well taken there by Stewart, running back into the corner. Good chase here from the Roosters, though, and they need to tonight with Brett Stewart, who can just tear defences apart from any part of the field. Hicks now. Up and over the 20.
Too long, Dennis. Just it doesn't go against you.
A harsh call there on Denny Nutley, but once again the Roosters give away a penalty that relieves the pressure for the opposition. Tonight Manly, of course. Manly up to halfway with a minimum of effort. Here's King now. Orford. Now Watmo has lost the ball. Did he get it back? 6 to go. He says Anasta played at the ball.
Yeah, I think he got that one right. Anasta looked like he slapped the ball out of Watmo's hands there.
We're going to hold it there.
Well, was it intentional or was he just trying to make a tackle? But he certainly knocked it out of Watmo's hands.
Those 50-50 calls that go against you when you're struggling, don't they?
They do.
Get in there, mate. Get in there, jump in there, bud.
And in the end, you're not surprised that they go against you.
Let him get his
You
head in, fellas.
expect them to go against you.
There we go.
Line. Here's Bell straightening. Can't get through. Just shy of the 30-metre line. Line at the half. Here's Kite. Ball out the back. Williamson. They keep it alive here, Manly. Monahan says go forward. And he's tackled by Wing just inside the 20-metre line. Monahan there as well, so they're short out to the left. Monahan with the tackle on Monahan. Brother on brother, and he gives away a penalty. That could have gone the other way as well, because Monahan, I don't know whether he actually got to his feet with the ball in his possession.
Well, he wanted to quick play the ball, and again, a 50-50. They take a quick tap.
Dominant! One!
King will play.
Stand up! Hold!
Right in front of the goalpost. Here's Line. Across field looking for Bell. Bell went through and Line held onto it. Somehow they didn't score there, Manly. Orbison with the tackle. Here's Hicks. Now to Glenn Stewart, to his brother Brett, who's over again. How does he keep doing it at Brookvale Oval or anywhere? Brett Stewart has scored again for Manly in the corner. 8 points to 0 with a kick to come, and the bloke is a freak at Brookvale Oval.
What's that make it? 37 tries in 39 games. A remarkable record. And there's the penalty there. And another 50-50 call. That could have gone either way, but Glenn Stewart, who's having an outstanding season, just skirts back down the blind side. Good little cross play with Chris Hicks. And no defence on the sideline for the Roosters.
But once again, penalty, and Manly down on the attack again. 50-50 call on Anasta as well. Just not going their way as Danny Nutley comes from the field after 12 minutes for the Roosters. The man that's given away a couple of penalties is Orford. This time he's got the radar work. Has he got the legs? He does. 10 points to 0. Manly over the Roosters, and we've had just 12.5 minutes of play.
Well, of course, Jamie Lyon, normally the goal kicker for the Manly Seagulls side. But they got a very good backup in Matt Orford, and that was a terrific one from the sideline. And the Roosters just absolutely no field position so far in the opening 13 minutes of this match.
Here's King. So 13 minutes gone. So
Almost 80%.
we're well into the game, and Manly just dominating possession, field position, and the scoreboard. And a lot of that, the Roosters have given it to them. Here's Kite. Fitzgibbon with the tackle. Another one for Fitzgibbon, the NRL's leading tackler. Here's Orford with the kick from inside his own half. He finds some open space, and Amos Roberts in his own in goal. Wonder whether it crossed his mind to let it see if it would go over the dead ball line. It seemed as though it had enough on it to go there.
It did, but you're always worried as a fullback, and especially those ones that bounce high. That one popped up in the air, and you're thinking to yourself, well, this one could just bounce backwards. So he really had to make a play at that one. It's the sort of call that a fullback will have to make 3 or 4 times in a match, and sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong.
Well, they've been under the pump, the Roosters, right from the kickoff. And Amos Roberts with that pass behind Shillington. There's a good run up towards the 40-metre line, still going. Saab will play it. 10 metres short of the halfway line. Wing trying to get a penalty, and now they will get it.
You're laying in the ruck. You've got to move out of there, mate.
Well, eventually they got it.
Yeah, Brent Kite penalised for in the ruck. Craig Wing made the most of Brent Kite there. He probably could have got around him to pick the ball up, but that's not his fault. That's not his fault that Brent Kite, he doesn't have to do that.
Kite's got to make the effort to get out of the way. He didn't make an effort there, and it's a penalty the Roosters needed. Can they control the football in this set, though? They're 20 metres away. Very slow getting up. King finally gives the penalty away.
Second push, you don't use it, you stand up.
Quick tap taken. Here comes Shillington. Nate Miles was the man that was tackled before. They're inside the 10, the Roosters. Can they hit straight back? They need to. Wing out of acting half. Looks for Fitzgibbon, who can't get over there. Try saver over the top from Brett Stewart. Now it comes through the hands, and Nasta looking for runners, has to take them on himself. Still going great for Nasta, and is finally tackled just 4 metres out from the line. Here's Amos Roberts, cut out ball over the top, Tupou, off the legs of Orpison. No, he says it was knocked on.
Gee, they had the numbers too. With Tupou, it was a good flat ball. Roberts found Tupou just in between the defenders there.
So Orford from the base of the scrum ran and then just gave the pass to Chris Hicks, putting him under a little bit of pressure. 10 out from his own line. Here's Watmo. Into the shoulder of Payer, who forces him back in terrific defence, and also Ashley Harrison involved. Monahan coming on the outside to Maddai. Took the tackle. They're still inside their own 20 here, Manly. Here's King. Runs there at Tupou, who forces him back. Dominant tackle, says the referee, and Miles is in there as well. Here's Kite and Asta round the legs. Last tackle here for Manly inside their 30. Orford under pressure, gets his kick away just. And is down to the wing with John Williams. He's taken there by Williamson.
Good defensive set by the Roosters. That'll give them the advantage for this set of 6. Let's see if they can work it down into the Manly area. Manly, of course, their goal line defence has been a real plus in their game this season. We've already seen them tested once. Let's see if the Roosters can work it down there and put the Manly defence under some pressure again. Good run by Payer.
Inside the 30, go the Roosters. Here's a Nasta looking for runners again, but taking the tackle. Monahan is in there, so too Glenn Stewart. Last here, Brett Stewart slipped at the back, but they're kicking across to the wing of Robertson. Joel Monahan goes high, knock on, says the referee. It'll be a changeover. So Manly survive. The Roosters at least are starting to string some sets together and making Manly work from their own end. King plays. Here's Kite. Payer's in there. So too Tupou and Fitzgibbon. 22 metres out from their own line here, Manly. Monahan goes left to Orford. Ball now to Maddai. Into space. John Williams had come in. Here's Sedamata Sai. Gets away from him. Williams comes again. Into touch. Was it stripped? Did he lose it?
Thank you. Taken by Roosters over the touchline, Manly feed.
Gee, that's a tough one. Maddai away, and it was Williams who, well, it was Sedamata Sai who came across. Oh, he's just ripped it straight out of his hands.
So Manly will get a set here inside the Roosters territory. They've got any play from the back of the scrum here. Here's Jamie Lyon. Brett Stewart goes inside, and Lyon takes the tackle 40 metres out from the Roosters line. Here's Bell out of acting half. Payer. Over the top comes Craig Wing. Monahan to Orford. Now good tackle from Fitzgibbon on Watmo. Fitzgibbon, the leading tackler in the game, by a long way. Here's Maddai showing the ball and bouncing off the shoulder of Peeny Payer. 20 metres out from the line. Maddai will play it back to Monahan. Down the short side, Orford off legs. Who wants it? The Roosters have come up with it. Penalty.
That's a bear hug, Matty. No.
Probably a bit disappointed about that kick, Matt Orford, and a little bit frustrated and carried the tackle on a little bit further. He's given away a penalty.
Here's Payer taking it forward. 17 on for Manly. Mark Bryant. 9 metres out from the halfway line. Here's Miles. Roosters fans pleased to see him back. And Manly welcoming him to Brookie, driving him back a couple of metres. Last one up there was Michael Monaghan. Here's Harrison. Nice tackle around the legs from Glenn Stewart over the top. Monaghan. His wing out of acting half. Now the pass comes to Lapini Paya. This is Amos Roberts across field. Now it comes to Miles. Right in centre field. 35 out. Williamson. Miles getting tangled. Someone will one day be penalised. We saw that last night, I think, for walking off the mark. Should see more of it. Last tackle. Here's the kick. Cross field from an Asta. Who wants it? Joel Monaghan may get a shot on it. It's gone backwards from the Roosters. And Watmo is there to tidy up for Manly and return it with a bit of interest. And the man that kicked it has to make the tackle, Braithen Asta. And I'm sure he wasn't expecting to do that. Here's Bryant. They get a penalty here, Manly. And the pressure relieved again from the Roosters.
Well, another bomb to the right-hand side for the Roosters. And they better be careful too, because the Manly side, the chase wasn't great. Joel Monaghan, a half-hearted effort to take that bomb. Manly will pluck one out of the air and run 100 metres if the Roosters don't watch it. Few numbers out there as they get another relieving penalty.
Kite plays it. He's about to have a rest as Glenn Hall will come on. Second tackle on this set here for Manly. Bryant plays it. Here's Williamson back on the angle towards the middle of the ruck, and Miles with the tackle. They're only 12 away. Here's Orford now. Change of direction, but there's no one there for Manly. Craig Wing had read it and comes up with a good tackle. They're in line with the right-hand upright. Manly, they come to the right. Jamie Lyon. Glenn Stewart slips over. Lyon takes the line on and is tackled inside the 10. Last here for Manly. Bell at acting half. Orford with the cross-field kick. Williams is waiting. Here comes Robertson. It's over the touching goal line. 20-metre restart.
That's a couple he's got wrong, Matty Orford. The radar not perfect tonight. A bit too much strength on it and beats Chris Hicks over the touching goal area. Possession starting to swing around a little bit, but still favouring the Manly side. 65 to 35.
Anasta. Cut out pass to Orbison. Glenn Stewart there with the tackle. 9 short of the halfway line. Roosters end of the field. They trail by 10. Here's Amos Roberts unloading to Miles. Good defence there from Manly. Hall around the face. Could easily have been penalised and is.
Get a grapple tackle.
I'm surprised it took as long as it did. Penalty to come. There it is. Clearly a penalty.
No argument with that. That's 8 penalties in the game so far, and it really has caused the game to be very stop-start as Paya straight into the Manly defence.
That hurt Bryant. And Steve Menzies getting ready to come on. Here's Wing. Now Anasta turns the ball back on the inside to Miles. He's met in a solid tackle once again. About 5 metres out from the line. Here's Anasta behind Sedimata Sarr. He knocked it on. The referee says it went backwards. Well, I thought that was propelled towards Manly's goal line, but there's a lucky break for the Roosters. Here's Fitzgibbon now. He'll take them on. There's a wall of maroon and white jumpers there. They're only 3 away from the line. We've got numbers here, the Roosters, if they can get it wide. Here's Tupou. He can offload, but good tackle there from Bell. Lions slowing them down. Last tackle. Payers at acting half. You don't want him there. That's wide. It comes to Wing now. Wing with the grubber. They may be able to get something out of this. The Roosters, they do. Maddai takes it over the dead ball line, but that was more good luck than good management.
Yeah, sloppy play around the dummy half. As you said, you don't want Lapini Paya in the dummy half. On the 5th tackle, the ball went slow to Craig Wing, but he waited up pretty quickly, found the gap between the Manly defence, and the Roosters get a repeat set. And with 15 minutes remaining, they need to start to take advantage of some of the field position they've had. The Roosters looking a little bit lost without Mitchell Pearce in steering them round the park. Braithen Nasta Just has to start running a bit direct, running at the line, doing what he does normally, not feeding the ball across field to his players.
Inside the 20, go the Roosters. Now here comes Miles. Wing. Now the ball to Sedamata. Sari's so close. Only a metre away. Terrific tackle there made by Steve Maddai. And Asta stepping. Bryant there, but he's still alive. Pops the ball back to Tupou. Tupou keeps it alive, but Manly come up with it. The ball went backwards, says the referee, and somehow the Sea Eagles survive.
Looked dangerous, but didn't it? Braithen Asta stepping on the inside, able to pick up a support player, Tupou, and they almost created something out of it, and Asta just has to continue to do that. Keep taking the defence on, back on the inside. Don't go across field. Give early ball to Sedamata Sarr. Let him put some footwork on. And they could find some breaks in this Manly defence.
Steve Menzies on for Manly. Luke Williamson, the man off. Here's Menzies now. What a player he has been for Manly. Up towards the halfway line. If he scores tonight, he sets another record. Equals Andrew Eddinghausen for the most tries at any one ground. The kick is perfectly weighted. I think it's 82 tries. He's sitting on 81 at the moment at Brookie. Andrew Eddinghausen scored 82. Whatever name you want to call Shark Park over the years.
Don't run through them all.
I won't. We've got 12 and a half to half time. We won't have time. Although we should have more than that. Because for some reason here, the timekeepers at Brookie, like at Suncorp Stadium a couple of weeks back, have not been stopping the clock when the referee signalled time off on at least 2 occasions tonight. Here's an Asta taking it forward. Good tackle from behind by Glenn Stewart. They've dominated the last 10 to 15 minutes of this game, the Roosters, but they've got nothing to show for it. Robertson over the 20. Here's trouble. Stewart into space. Here he goes. Great tackle and Asta just short of the halfway line. Well, you mentioned it earlier, Greg. If they don't chase with any sort of purpose, they could be split open. There's a strip.
You've tackled the footy. You've pulled it out.
Sedamata Sarr.
Great understanding, haven't they, the Manly back three. Not only can they make breaks on their own, that time Robertson running across the field, Stewart rooting it beautifully.
Well, here's an opportunity for Manly. They have been under the pump the last 15 minutes or so, but they lead by 10. The Roosters have had nothing to show for their domination, and they're under pressure here. Here's Hall running at Fitzgibbon, who makes the tackle. He's only a metre away from the line. Manly have got a chance here to the right. They come that way. Lyon turns it inside to Stephen Bell. Bell looking for a gap. Still going back towards where the play the ball was, and coming late was Menzies. Bell takes the tackle. Monahan out of acting half. Orford, he's over. Scores the try. Matt Orford takes the line on. He scores the try. His second for the year. The Roosters had 15 minutes where they dominated and couldn't score. First opportunity down the other end, and Manly extended to 14 with a kick to come.
Yeah, good hit back, wasn't it? Matt Orford so dangerous. So dangerous from close to the line. This is what led to it. Terrific run by Brett Stewart after a Robertson pass. Then Matty Orford, good footwork, such a strong player.
Here's an Orford, I should say, adding the extra points, and it's 16 points to 0. 10 minutes out from half time. And Braithen Asta is trying his backside off, as he has each and every week for the Roosters, but he's playing out of position tonight.
Now look, Danny Nutley, the player that Matt Orford beat there, picked out the big man. Craig Wing couldn't do enough to stop Orford from getting over. And you talk about an Asta, and he's been the Roosters' best by a mile, as Menzies brings it out and almost brings it through the Roosters' defensive line.
Here's Hall up towards the 30, taking the ground just over that mark now. They can't afford to concede another try here, the Roosters, before half-time. 16 is hard enough for them. If they concede another one before the break, Manly could go on a bit of a rampage here. Here they go. Good ball. Menzies just floated a little bit. Hicks had to wait for it. Now he accelerates. He's got Brett Stewart on his inside. And he's tackled just shy of the 40-metre line. Here's Orford. Turns the ball back inside to Bryant. Menzies much better in around the ruck, isn't he, rather than out in the centres, because he can just pop up wherever he wants. That's what he's done in the 5 minutes he's been on the field. Here's Orford. The little kick is on the grubber, though, putting pressure on Amos Roberts. He can't get back into the field to play. He was going to struggle even if he didn't slip. Great chase from Manly. They're just doing the little things right at the moment.
Yeah, big difference in the chasing team, isn't it, from the Roosters to the Manly side. You're right, even if Roberts didn't slip over then, he didn't have far to go. Great chase, Bell, Hicks leading it.
It's a good result for Manly then. I just thought then the little chip over the top was on because Roberts is playing back pretty deep. The winger was up because they were coming down the short side.
Go, Brave.
Very surprised to see Matt Orford do that. He's done it on a couple of occasions for Brett Stewart. Back across the centre of the ruck. And there's Stewart under it. Here comes Bryant. No, he decides to go himself. He's tackled just shy of the 20-metre line. There's Bryant. Harrison there to make the tackle. 15 metres away. Manly lead by 16 points to 0 inside the final 10 before half-time. Here's Orford, now Watmo, trying to back his way over. Got through the tackle of Tupou, but not Joel Monahan. And luckily Glenn Hall got in there to steal the ball out of the grasp of Craig Fitzgibbon. Here's Orford. They're going back very deep, Manly. Line across field, linking up with Brett Stewart. Now to Menzies, to Hicks for the corner. The pass was forward, says the referee. He made the call. The touch judge kept herring down the touchline. But Gavin Badger says the pass was forward. Steve Menzies is not arguing.
Yeah, he just tried to positioning Chris Hicks and almost did it perfectly. Steve Menzies.
Not much in it, though, Greg.
Not much in it at all, was there? Because you had a pretty good judge of it because the line was right there.
It might have floated for it, but I thought out of his hands it was all right.
I tell you what, the first two balls then from Matt Orford, from Monahan and Orford to give it to Jamie Lyon were outstanding. Things slowed down a little bit after that.
So here's the Roosters working it out from their own end. They haven't had much football the last 5 minutes or so. They've made 5 interchanges. Anthony Tupou coming off. Here's Wing. Now to Fitzgibbon. Trying to push away from Matt Eye, able to get the ball out to Joel Monahan. 13 short of the halfway line. Roosters into the field. Here's Fitzgibbon. What about the amount of work he does for this Roosters side? 21 tackles, 9 hit-ups. The next best tackler is Danny Nutley on 19. The next best hit-up, Lapini Paa, on 5. Where would they be without Craig Fitzgibbon? Now here's Orbison.
I will say he's been, apart from the work that he does, he's been much better in attack and offered more for the Roosters this year with the ball. That's a good kick, and that's a better chase from the Roosters.
They pin Brett Stewart, 5 out from his own line. Orford gets in there to acting half, and Chris Hicks does the hard work to get out from the end, and a good tackle from Danny Williams, who's finally on the field. Now here's Robertson up towards the 20. The Roosters muscling up a little bit here in defence, trying to force the error. Robertson gets up very slowly in his 100th first grade game. May not be too keen to come back in there again. As he slowly gets back out to the left wing, and Danny Nutley is called offside there by the referee, and Bell is tackled and finally released by Harrison. They're going to kick off. It had to reach for it, so it put him under pressure. It comes back to Brett Stewart. He can create nothing out or something out of nothing, but not on this occasion. A couple of metres short of the halfway line. Last tackle, Orford in an acting half, so Monahan is going to go back and kick it. And it's a good kick too. It's going to find space. Is it over the dead ball line? Just a little bit too much on it. I think Manly will be too disappointed there. Just gives them a chance to regroup. Danny Nutley talking to the referee.
Yeah, it's not a terrible result when you're kicking from your half and it does go dead. It's when you're around the 30, 40 metre area and you kick it dead, and all of a sudden they don't have to go far back. But that's not a bad result. The Manly side, well done, Fitzgibbon.
Sedamata Sarr down the touchline. Jamie Lyon is there to make the tackle, but not before he could get the ball back to Joel Monaghan, and Steve Menzies there in cover with Anthony Watmo. Here's Fitzgibbon. Now to Wing. Wing there to Harrison, who takes it forward. Up towards the 40-metre line he goes. Now plays the ball to Wing. Dummies left and comes back right to Nutley down the middle of the field. Up towards the 30. Quick play the ball to Wing. Now to Anasta. Anasta finds Williams, who's wearing jumper number 16. Now Wing kicking off the legs of Hall. Played it, says the referee. But Manly come up with it anyway.
Well, it ricocheted around there, and Gavin Badger ruled it was a knockback by the Manly side.
Watmo hit a solid tackle there from Harrison. Also in there was Fitzgibbon and Danny Nutley making another tackle. There's Bryant. Back to Jamie Lyon, to Matai. There's nowhere for him to go. And tackled there. John Williams. So Joel Monaghan involved. Here's Brett Stewart. Popping it back to Hall. Ordinary ball, but bouncing nicely to Stephen Bell. He just loves coming off that right foot back into the middle of the ruck. Last here for Manly. Monaghan is going to kick again. This time it's from inside the 40. Looking for a 40-20. Roberts has let it bounce and then grabs it one-handed a la David Peachy and brings it back towards the 20, and Hicks is down there to make the tackle.
Well, he must have been confident of the trajectory of the ball to know that it wasn't going to go out, because it looked good.
Never square.
Penalty to here to the Roosters, a relieving penalty.
Second marker, not square. Another thing we don't see enough of, but we are starting to see the referees pick up the second markers. Look, Manly won't just want to beat the Roosters. They'll want to really get themselves out of the form slump they have been in as they start to charge into the semi-finals. Of course, 4 points behind the Melbourne Storm, but after their last month of football, really need a good win tonight against the Roosters to give themselves some confidence for their big games coming up.
Harrison plays it just shy of the 20-metre line. Here's Nutley. Now Anasta to Nate Miles. Sedamata Sarr, I should say, and the pass is dropped by Orbison. Slightly out in front of him, but at this level you expect that ball to be taken. And he apologises. He knows that he should have caught it. In fact, he had a look at what he wanted to do when he got the football. Wasn't the best of passes up around his head, but
he should have taken it.
He knows that. Manly here. Bell on the blind side. Line coming across to the short side as well. And Asta's calling for defenders to come across, and Manly go the open. And the Roosters have got them covered there. And Sedamata Sarr makes the tackle. And with the scrum moving in 20 and the restarts from penalty kicks into the 20, we just don't see enough plays down this, bigger blind side anymore. That was the reason they expanded it, and no one's using it.
It might have been better to keep it 10.
Gives you more room on the other side. Bryant plays it. Here's Orford. Hall runs the decoy inside. Now to Jamie Lyon, who accelerates. Back to Menzies into a little bit of space. Here's Orford. Stewart's there with him. Oh, the flick out the back was a ripper. Brett Stewart just wasn't expecting it. And Amos Roberts picks it up. Well, Manly, the three guns there, Menzies, Orford and Stewart, almost came up with something spectacular. Started also by Jamie Lyon. That was close.
Yeah, didn't he hit the hole off Steve Menzies? Matt Orford. And you're right, just burst through that gap there. Brett Stewart just wasn't expecting it as a Nasta chip over the top where he gathers.
And kicking again and kicking out on the full. First mistake that Braithen Asta's made tonight. It was right on half-time. And a pretty entertaining first half. Manly showing glimpses of what they can do. And they lead by the Roosters. They lead the Roosters by 16 points to 0. So Braithen Asta gets us underway with a shallower kick, and Manly, Brett Stewart has to put the accelerator down to get there and take it on the full. And they're just shy of the 30-metre line.
They're becoming more popular, those kickoffs, the kickoffs that go into no man's land, because not many sides put a player in between the 20 and the 30. Seen sides come up with results. That one, Brett Stewart, too quick, got it on the fall and gets Manly close to over halfway after 3 tackles.
Here's Watmote. 5 into Roosters territory. So Manly looking to score first in the second half, and maybe there's a mistake from Glenn Stewart. The Roosters have come up with it. Manly get it back through Stewart. He knows that it's not the mistake you want on the first set, start at half.
Well, he knows he shouldn't have passed it. He was in no position to give any sort of ball there. He was plenty of attention from the Roosters and really didn't have his arms free. Orford was standing there waiting for it, but he should have hung onto it.
Here's Perrott. Oh, passing to Sedamar Sarr, who wasn't expecting it. Joel Monahan is giving the touch judge here an absolute spray. But Sedamar Sarr, whether or not they're offside or not, he's got to be expecting the football.
Well, why was he running back on the inside? Any decoy runner has to think that he's a chance of getting the ball.
Just bizarre. And then they blame the touch judge for it. Maybe one of the reasons why they are struggling, the Roosters. Here's King taking it forward. So they're under pressure again from their own hand, the Roosters. And there's a pass from Hicks back to Kite. And Kite hangs onto it.
That is the one time when you probably don't expect a pass. When a winger takes it across field, you think he's just going to run the ball. Brent Kite not ready for that one.
Stewart. He was able to react and take it. It's Glenn Stewart. Here's Orford to the line. Here's Brett Stewart inside to Maddai, who wasn't expecting it. And once again, the same applies. There's nothing wrong with the pass.
Well, let's have a look at it front on. It was a late decision there, but well, it was down low. Yeah, it dropped around his knees.
Still should have taken it though.
You're a hard marker.
I am.
It's in. Starting.
I am.
You are. We'll both agree on that. First game back since round 11 on Maddai, but anyway.
I'll let him off. They're up 16-0. They can afford it at the moment. The Roosters certainly can't afford another incomplete set. Just to get themselves into the rhythm in the second half. It was almost the way they started the first half with that ordinary pass from Amos Roberts to Shillington from the kickoff. They were under the pump from then. Here's Fitzgibbon and Orford. Just lifting there and finally putting him to ground with the assistance of Michael Monahan. There's an ordinary pass again. This time from wing to Nutley, who was able to tidy up, and thought he was going to pass then to Shillington, and Astor puts the ball high. I get a feeling quite a few of the Roosters players are offside, but Stewart returns the football and was tackled there by Wing.
That was a sloppy set of 6 from the Roosters, wasn't it? There was poor passes from dummy half. There was no one really hitting at the line. The player with the ball had no one else to give it to. There was no one coming forward with him. Made it easy for Manly.
There's an offload from Watmote, picked up from Jamie Lyon around his shins. He then offloads to Hicks, who's tackled straight away. He's lost the ball.
Stripped it after I called move.
Gee, I don't know if he did then. We'll have a look at it again, but it was a fair tackle by Sarr. Well picked up by Jamie Lyon. Finds himself into open spaces. Well taken by Chris Hicks. Oh, yeah.
Here's King taking it forward.
That wasn't a 50-50 call.
11 out from the line. Bit of frustration there from Sedamar Sarr. The tackle was complete. Now it comes to Kite. Manly with an opportunity to blow this game wide open. They're short here, the Roosters to the left, and Monahan goes back to the right. Long ball there to Glenn Stewart. He thought about offloading, but after the pass before, he decides to hang on to it. There's still a chance here. Manly to the left. Monahan. Now it comes back to Orford. Long ball to Maddai. One-on-one with Joel Monahan. Oh, so easy. Steve Maddai just stepped in as if he wasn't there. Off the left, then straight. And anything Stephen Bell can do, I can do just as well. Manly now lead by 20.
Again, the service from the inside men Monahan, Orford, saw the space out wide. Terrific ball. Maddai didn't have to stop on his run. Hit him on the chest. He had Joel Monahan going across the field. Once he had him going across the field, just put the left foot step. There was no way Monahan was going to get back. Braithen Astor in vain coming across. But
and you look at that Roosters lineup, as we mentioned before, Greg, just the quality of players they have there, but it's the fundamentals that are letting them down. As Orford strikes it pretty well and adds the extra 2. There's just not that crispness. There's not any sense of urgency in their play. They're just lacking in the basics there. And this Monahan just left himself open. The cover wasn't there, but
he's pushing hard. Once he started to go sideways, Maddai could see that he had him. There was a big enough gap between the inside defender Braithen Astor and Monahan that Maddai was forced to step off his left foot. He had no other option, really. You could see the trial was there because he had Monahan beaten already. Once he got the ball and moved sideways, as Manly commit the error that everyone talks about, and that's the one off the back of a try. Jason King putting the ball down. And
when you're up 22-0, it's not as bad as when it's 6-0. There was a hand in there, but Sam Perrott not to be playing at the football. We're about to see Heath Lestrange come on for the first time tonight in his first game in season 2007. Here's Roberts. Now, can the Roosters put some points on the board here? They had a period in the first half of about 15 minutes where they really put Manly under the pump, but Manly's defence held, only because the Roosters really just lacked that killer blow to put some points on the board.
Well, it's a real sign of a team that when someone takes the ball forward, everyone just stands back and watches him, and that's the case with the Roosters.
Fitzgibbon, the inside ball here from Anasta. Lestrange is on. He's there at Acne half. There go the 2 decoy runners, and his first pass is a shocker over the head of Craig Wing. Maybe he was watching Braithen Astor being there at first receiver all the time, and now they're trying to hurt each other, the Roosters. Surely John Williams won't be happy with that pass. Steve Maddai nailed him, and there. Well, that was one of the worst sets of 6 from an NRL side you'll ever see, particularly an NRL side that has internationals through its lineup.
Great hole run and good tackle.
Do you agree or not? That was just ordinary.
Well, exactly what I said. It's a total lack of commitment from the Roosters. They stand there and watch the bloke with the ball try and do his best. There's no one pushing forward with them. The dummy half, the passes from dummy half, they don't care. The players, if there is a decoy run, they don't even look at the ball.
It's been an ordinary year, but that set sort of summed it up. Stewart now accelerates. Will they catch him? Here's Menzies. He runs away from him. Now he links back up on the inside with Stephen Bell. He's tackled from behind, gets up, goes again, and scores his second. Terrific Manly try, and it was that man again, Brett Stewart. They are carving the Roosters up. It's 26 points to 0. Buckle up, because Manly are on a roll.
And this is what the Roosters deserve after the set. They just threw at the Manly side. Brett Stewart just too wide as a receiver and picked up Stephen Bell. Tackled but rolled over the try line.
Here's Orford. Little trouble to add the extra 2 in what it has been pretty much an embarrassing year for the Roosters.
I don't know what that man does, Chris Anderson. I don't know how he'd answer the questions that a lot of Roosters fans would no doubt want to ask him. You can make it look like you're trying out there, but you're not really. And all those little things about pushing forward with your teammates, not just standing back and watching, throwing the ball to someone and generally throwing it poorly to someone and then letting him do his best and then kicking it out in the full. What a 5-minute period that's just been for the Roosters.
And sadly, it's Braithen Astor who has tried his heart out tonight, as has Craig Fitzgibbon. But gee whiz. Orford will find touch, and this could become Very, very embarrassing for the Sydney Roosters. Celebrating their 100th season. It's one they'd rather forget.
And Desi Hasler won't be happy if they don't really put them to the sword either. As I said, after the last month of football that the Manly side have had, they've leaked points themselves. They're coming into this game on the back of 2 losses. Manly, Desi Hasler will want his side to bounce back, and bounce back well as Menzies.
Links up with Orford. Here they go again. Matty Orford's over. He gets himself a double off the pass of Stephen Menzies. The floodgates are open. The scoreline could be anything. Manly continue to make the Roosters' season a misery. 32-0 with a kick to come. Who wants one next?
Jamie Lyon drifting across the field, just picks up the flat man, Steve Menzies. Craig Wing had come up past the ball. That put him out of play. There he is, past the ball. Craig Fitzgibbon couldn't get a hand on Menzies. Picks up Orford, and Matty Orford scores his 2nd try of the night. Orford
Adds the extra 2. Manly now lead by 34 points to 0. Let's see what sort of a kick we get from Braithen Astor on this occasion.
Chris Hicks was the man. It looked like Jamie Lyon. Chris Hicks, the man that ran the cross play, picked up Steve Menzies, but the Roosters put themselves out of play because half of them had run past where the ball was.
Nowhere near touch on this occasion. I thought Robertson was going to collide with Lyon, but he finds Kite Lyon, and let's see what the Roosters have got defensively this set. Monahan. Now it comes to King. Over the 20-metre line, by about a metre or 2. Hicks up to the 30. Here's Kite. Fitzgibbon there with the tackle. Tackle number 4, just short of the 40-metre line, Manly. Here's Glenn Stewart in the middle of the ruck. His brother was lurking, so too was Menzies. Last tackle for Manly. Here's Jamie Lyon. Where's the little kick over the top, because the winger and fullback are very deep for the Roosters. And taking it there, and return of the ball from Perrott. The Manly chase is pretty good, although Glenn Stewart missed the first up tackle. Roberts. Let's see what this set's like for the Roosters. They haven't had the ball since that last horror. Short of the halfway line. Wing. Now it comes to a Nasta. Monahan inside Matt High. Watmo was there to tidy up though. Tackle number 4. And Asta. Here's Wing inside Tupou. There's someone running with a bit of purpose. Now back to Lapini Paya. Paya then to Sedamata Sarr, who's tackled by Bell. Last tackle here for the Roosters. Craig Wing, Watmo there to put pressure on him, so he passes to Anasta. He puts the kick. Robertson is under it. No pressure, no chase, and no desire from the Roosters to get down there.
Well, it wasn't the best kick to chase. It could have been a fair bit higher, or it could have been, if he was going to put a chip over, just grab it in behind the line. If you're going to put it that deep, throw it up in the air, give you chase, although not that enthusiastic. Give him some time to get up there.
He's Kite. 3 Roosters around him. Lapini Paya over the top, forcing him to the ground. Wing was there, and Anthony Tupou as well. Kite will play it. There's Monahan kicking outside the 40. Nice bounce here for Amos Roberts, and he comes back down the blind side. Pass then to Sam Perrott, and gets away from the touchline. And they're back towards the halfway line here, the Roosters. Could easily have had a penalty there. Jamie Lyon took some time to disentangle himself. Here's Lapini Paya towards the 30, getting some metres here, the Roosters. Wing. Now Fitzgibbon, Orford there, one-on-one. His hands near the football, couldn't quite get the steal. Roberts at acting half to Wing. Wing now to Anasta, stepping inside King. Orford there, away from Orford. Menzies tidies up. And Anasta screaming at his teammates for some support. Wing now to Lestrange, who's having a hit up. The hooker will play it. Last tackle. Roberts now to Anasta. They've got numbers here. The Roosters, can he get the bounce? No, he can't.
Williams, and so Robertson, can he get it back into the field to play? Somehow he does.
Yes, did you see that? They were 2 metres from the line. They put a grubber kick through. There's one of the Manly players down. It's Brett Stewart. There was a heavy collision there. I think Fitzgibbon was one of the chasers.
Hopefully it's only a cork for him. He doesn't look good.
Robertson did a great job. Here it is here. Straight over the top of John Williams it was. And then Robertson getting it out, but Brett Stewart just starting to make his way back into the Manly lineup.
Monahan with the kick, and Roberts lets it bounce again. Sam Perrott away from Watmo. He's got Maddai there and gets away from Maddai, and Watmo comes again. Fitzgibbon. Now it comes to John Monahan. Gets past Maddai again. And not away from Orford and Watmo. Towards the 40 he goes.
His timing's out, isn't it, Steve Maddai? First game since round 11, and defensively, he got that one in. Defensively, he's been found out a bit. He's put a couple of balls down. He's just finding his way back.
Here's Anthony Tupou. Under pressure, so not able to get the ball away. So often does. And making the tackle is Jamie Lyon and King also. His wing to the line, but the Manly defence is too strong. 10 metres out from the line. The outside backs for the Roosters calling for a kick here. It's going to come from Amos Roberts. Plenty of time. Robertson and Monahan. Robertson does well under pressure and somehow managed to stay in the field to play. And John Monahan's hurt himself for the Roosters. They run straight at him, and almost his brother almost got past him, and you could just see John Monahan limping out of shot there. And no love lost between the brothers. They go down that side again through Orford. Here's Watmo. And Chris Anderson. Like a lot of Roosters supporters, I'm sure he wishes he could go home at the moment.
He's gone at him.
Monahan again going at his brother Michael. Into space. He's going to kick for Robertson. Wing. Robertson gets the dream bounce and will score in his 100th first grade game. That sums up the night for both sides. He got a dream bounce. Michael Robertson straight into his hands. And that will be a try.
Well, they played a 5-metre corridor for the whole set of 6 then. They marched it down the field. Joel Monahan was hurt right down the far end after that kick. Michael Monahan, 3 times he ran at his brother who was injured and put a perfect kick in. Robertson onside. Wing showed plenty of speed, actually in front of Robertson there, but the ball just bounced perfectly for Michael Robertson in his 100th first grade game. Did well to get it down. Scored there. Just made a bird of it after that. Here comes the decision.
There's the try in his 100th first grade game, 8th of the season for Michael Robertson, and it started right back. He started it right back on his own goal line with a great take.
There's his brother. He pushed his brother away out of the way on the way through. Found himself into a bit of space. Could see Michael Robertson. The kick was the best option, and you couldn't have got a better bounce. He's had a good game, Michael Monahan.
They've certainly snapped out of their lethargy, the Sea Eagles. A couple of disappointing losses back to back. A scratchy win over South and a loss before that, so they've really struggled the last month, losing 3 of their last 4. This is an impressive performance. Craig Fitzgibbon coming off for the Roosters. They've made 10 interchange with 20 minutes of play remaining. And still Manly, Adam Cuthbertson about to come on for the first time tonight. Orford. I reckon he'll kick this. There's the Roosters. And Orford strikes it pretty well. He's got the legs he has straight over the black dot. It's the way the night is going. 40 points to 0. Manly over the Roosters. Look how they would be loving this, the Manly faithful.
Oh, wouldn't they? Wouldn't they? Another win at Brookvale Oval. Only one loss here this year, but it has come in recent weeks against the Bulldogs. But possession 60% or just over 60% to Manly, but you spoke about Craig Fitzgibbon, who's made his way to the Roosters bench. 34 tackles, 16 hit-ups, the only Rooster in double figures for hit-ups.
4 offloads as well.
No one within cooey of him.
111 times these two teams have played, including the grand final or 2. And this is the second biggest win ever by Manly over the Roosters. And the way they're going, they will surpass their biggest ever win, 53-0, back at the Sydney Sports Ground in 1966. Here we go, Maddai on the outside to Robertson. Joel Monahan has recovered and makes the tackle. 5 short of the halfway line. They're just going to play some razzle-dazzle stuff here, Manly. And can Stephen Menzies get himself a try to equal the record of Andrew Ettinghausen?
I'd be shocked if Beaver didn't come up with a try tonight.
Here's Orford with the little chip, not his best of the night, and easily covered up there by John Williams. There's a mistake from the Roosters and a mistake from Manly.
First one, Roosters.
That ball onto the chest there of Sam Perrott came out of a gun from Amos Roberts.
Well, Perrott hit it hard, didn't he? And ran outside in, which made it even harder to take, but was running into a brick wall anyway. Amos did him no favours by throwing it to him. Manly couldn't take advantage of it, and they'll get the feed. Matt Orford, and here we go again.
Bell looking for a hat trick. Tried to get on the outside and get a touch, will he? No, just succumbs to the tackle. Orbison there. That's the 30-metre line he's playing it on. Here's Lyon. Now to Cuthbertson, who's on the field for Manly. Gets the offload back to Kite. Kite thought about offloading himself and takes the tackle.
He's got a great ability, Adam Cuthbertson, to offload the ball.
Here's Orford to Watmo. He's taken the ground just outside the 10. Monahan, that's Michael Orford. Now here's Glenn Stewart. He thought about offloading to Kite. They've still got 2 up their sleeve. Here's Monahan. He deserves a try, and he gets one. Was there obstruction?
This will be the 5th tackle.
He throws the ball up into Narrowena. I'll have to get that back. Was there obstruction? Did Glenn Stewart get in the way? He tried to get out of the way, and that may have exacerbated the problem.
Well, there he is. Michael Monahan ducking back. Glenn Stewart. Well, it's Sedamata Sarr, is it, or Nate Miles?
Well, even if he makes the tackle, he makes it in the in goal. This is the play the ball before it. Now he plays the ball here. How far does he go forward? He keeps running forward. That may sort of cause him a problem, because if he stayed where he played the football, the tackle could have been made.
There would be no try.
Yeah. Bill Harrigan's our video referee. So this is where he plays the ball, 5 out. He walks forward here. And so Monahan goes into that space there, which if Stewart's not there, the defence would have been able to come off the line.
Well, both players can affect a tackle. Whether they would have stopped him or not, we'll never know. But it took away the opportunity to at least attempt a tackle.
So I think we'll find no try. Cooley Schneider, Brookie. Here's the decision from Bill Harrigan. No try penalty. And it was because Stewart walked off the mark after he played. If he would have just stood there,
Monahan still would have scored.
So the Roosters, they get a reprieve there. 40 points to 0 though, the score. And all that does for the Roosters too. And there's the crowd, just under 10,000 on a chilly night. 9,932. There's Lapini Paya. Just sort of draws out the agony for the Roosters too, having to take the time off to look at the replay for the video referee Bill Harrigan. Here's Wing to the line. Penny Paya back on the inside. The defence had it covered. Nice offload from Paya though. Here's Harrison. Just shy of the 30-metre line. Roberts at acting half. Now it comes to Wing. Wing. In there to Paya, taking the line on, has got the right arm free. We can get the pass away. Last tackle here for the Roosters. Can they get some points? Here's Anasta with the kick. Robertson is there waiting for it, but up high goes John Williams, and his tackle just
Change over.
shy of the goal line.
Now, Michael Robertson took the odds not to take the ball there. Just waited there, waited until John Williams took the bomb and then was there to tackle him. Bit risky, but comes off for the Manly side as Matai works it out. And again, a nothing sort of set from the Roosters.
Harrison there with a solid tackle. Over the top to slow the ball down. Mark Bryant was facing his grandstand when he played that football. Cuthbertson plays it. Here's Michael Monaghan, who's finding easy meters every time he runs. Orford, the last tackle, is kicked out on the full. The rare mistakes he's made tonight.
Yeah. Up here, Mitch. Glenn's
So
got
a
the mark.
changeover. So the Roosters will get some field position here. Can they do anything with it? Instead of Martasar. Wing. Now to Anasta. Anasta to Monaghan. Steps inside Matai again. Pops the ball back here to Harrison. Harrison straightens, and Cuthbertson's there with Menzies, and Watmo comes in late to be the third man in the tackle. 19 out from the line here, the Roosters. Here's Wing to the line. Nice tackle. Orford just throws the ball back, and Roberts is there waiting for it. Roberts runs around in circles, looks for something. There's nothing on, and so Matai makes the tackle with Cuthbertson inside the 10-metre line. Here's Harrison on the charge there. There's Nate Miles, who loses the football.
Knock on. Get a scrum.
Will be a Manly loose and feed.
Well, not that they've thrown much at Manly tonight, but Manly's goal line defence, something that they did pride themselves on. Their defence up until round 11 was fantastic. Harrison, the short ball. Nate Miles, well, just lack of ball control. Might have touched a Manly hand. Stewart, one of the players in there that Manly will want to leave this field here tonight with the Roosters not scoring a try.
Stephen Menzies going off for Manly as Williamson goes back on into change number 8 for Manly, and just a bit of a limp for Steve Menzies.
Back it up. Oh. What's
As
it?
Menzies has missed a lot of football this year with a groin injury. Jamie Lyon is now tackled, and I don't know about you, Greg, but I just see there's a little bit of a limp. He's walking a bit free now, but he's always had that strange gait when he walks, Stephen Menzies.
No, that definitely looked like there's a problem there somewhere. Of course, it was that groin or lower stomach injury that kept him out up until round 12.
Perrott towards the halfway line. Very short of that mark. The Roosters trail by 40 points to 0. Over the halfway line they go. Tupou, crossfield, looking to link with someone and throws it out the back. Amos Roberts taps it on there to Wing. Wing now goes forward, and there's Williams straight and hard, hitting a solid tackle. He lost the football, and Matai has come up with it. Step past Williams into a little bit of space, and Amos Roberts is there to make the tackle. And Manly on a bit of a roll here now. Orford to Williamson. He straightens the attack and is into Roosters territory on just the first tackle. Orford now to Glenn Stewart. Jamie Lyon out the back to Bell. 3 Roosters players bring him to ground, 35 metres out from the line. Hicks across field. Cuthbertson looking to straighten. So Monaghan and acting half. Orford's here to the left. They come that way. He takes the line on, then Brett Stewart gets the tackle broken. Now pops it out to Robertson. Easy try for Michael Robertson. His second of the night. And once again they go down the short side, Manly. And once again they're rewarded. And once again Brett Stewart was involved.
44-0 with a kick to come.
And I know that try did make it 44 as we look at Matt Orford. Just go to the line. Roosters defences, well, some have come up, some are hanging back. There's no line there at all, really. Matt Orford just trying to pick the mark, and he found the right one in Brett Stewart. Even though he got a hand, there was definitely a hand on him there. Williams came in off his wing, couldn't make the tackle. Stewart just too easy to Michael Robertson, who was able to run it right around under the post. Look at the Roosters players there just walking back. Chris Anderson will... I wouldn't be surprised. Is he getting up and going home? No, he's just looking the other way. He's had enough.
Can you blame him? The only reason Rooster supporters would still be here at the ground is their car's been parked in by Greg Alexander out the back. You have parked someone in, you parked quite a few people in. Here's Orford, there's Robertson in his 100th game.
I've taken about 4 or 5 out.
Here's Orford, 10 out from the line. Adds the extra 2. It's been 11 years since Manly held the side to 0. They could be doing it tonight here at Brookvale. 46 points to 0. It was 1996 when they beat Cronulla 24 to 0. And the 3rd week of the final series. And they're a chance tonight. And of course that year was the year they beat the Bulldogs in the grand final, wasn't it? Oh. No? 95, I'm getting mixed up with him, right? 10 metres, 20 metres out from their line here. Manly. Maddie, quick hands, Robertson forward. Whoa. Jeez, that would have been line ball. And Robertson was away.
Touchy there. Again, down this right-hand side of the Roosters' defence, who's Robertson was gone too. There was 50. Touchy on the spot. Bit hard to tell from this angle.
Heads in. Start in.
So here's the Roosters. Just shy of the 20-metre line. Tupou will play. There's an ordinary ball from Lestrange to wing. Cuthbertson, has he got the pace? I'll tell you he hasn't. Williamson may, but here come the chasers. Monahan, now to Maddie. Where is Robertson for a hat-trick in game 100? Here he is, line him up. There he goes, in the corner. There's a hat-trick in game 100. Manly is really turning it on here at Brookie, and that is the half-century, and what a way to bring it up.
Champagne footy there by the Sea Eagles. Michael Robertson, the recipient, did well too to dive into the corner. The Roosters, well, another muddled upset from the Roosters. That play, Craig Wing, dirty. Cuthbertson, good one-hander. He's a good footballer, Cuthbertson. Williamson back on the field. Maddie had to reach back and slowed him down a bit, but he did well. Pushes away Williams, far too easy. And Robertson diving into the corner. Don't see many players dive these days, but he needed to dive to score that one.
There's plenty of defence there from the Roosters to shut this down here at the end.
Well, John Williams, he was there. I know Maddie stepped back on the inside, but just pushed him away with ease. And did well to get Robertson into the corner.
His 3rd career hat-trick. He's never scored a double. He either scores 1 or 3. That's his 10th for the year. And he joins Brett Stewart as Manly's leading try scorer. And one of the unheralded players in the Manly backline, when you have players like Brett Stewart, Steve Bell, Steve Maddie, who's a test player, Steve Menzies, who was picked in the centres, Jamie Lyon, Matt Orford. Michael Robertson just sort of slips under the radar a little bit as Orford misses with the attempted conversion. 50 points to 0, 9 tries to 0. And there's Stephen Menzies and Stephen Bell. Some pretty impressive talent. Brett Kiter's there as well. And Jason King, all representative players on the bench for Manly at the moment. And the Manly fans are happy. Why wouldn't they be? 50 points to 0. Just a huge boost to their for and against. There's 5.5 to go. And the Roosters' worst ever loss in the history of the club.
66-4 against Canberra, in Canberra in 1990. So that's 62 points the difference. 2 converted tries from Manly will equal that. And the way we're going, well, that may have slowed them down. Adam Cuthbertson doesn't agree.
He got up a bit ginger.
Maybe a problem there with the right knee.
Heads in. Throw it in.
In a year of disappointing performances, this is in the top 3 for the Roosters.
Without a doubt. They've played some poor football this year, but some of the efforts from some of the individuals here tonight have been embarrassing. Embarrassing, attack and defence.
Sedamata Sark to John Monahan, tries to push away from Steve Maddai. And he makes the tackle. Watmo's there, and Cuthbertson comes in, and he finally succumbs to the tackle. Here's Sedamata Sark just throwing the ball away. Did that go forward? No, says the referee. So they're inside the 20 here, the Roosters. They haven't been able to score. Can Manly keep them scoreless? Here's the ball out the back and over the touchline. Well, here's some drama too to the Roosters to add to their woes. Nate Miles, who hasn't played much football, coming from the field. And he may go straight up the tunnel with what's looked like a shoulder problem. And there he goes, that right shoulder. He's going to sit down. I thought he might have gone up the tunnel. Doesn't look 100%, Nate Miles.
Let's go. Heads in.
But mind you, 50 points to 0. Who would look 100%?
Where's your watch?
548 games Manly have played at Brookie Oval. And this is their 4th biggest win at the moment.
Ready,
They
Matt.
could go past that. It's pretty impressive. 548 games at this ground. And this is number 4 all time in terms of their biggest winning margins. Stewart, playing more play. Monahan, Michael. Now comes to Bryant, hitting a solid tackle. Danny Williams was there, and so too Harrison. It's the 30-metre line. They're playing it on Manly. Have they got something left in them? Inside the final 3 minutes. 10 short of halfway. Here's Orford inside to Cuthbertson. Pops it out the back to Michael Monahan. Another offload from Manly. Monahan to Matt. Oh, he dummied there to Robertson. Now the intercept from Sedamata Sark, who was coming back defensively. And Manly miss an opportunity there on the Roosters. They've got a chance to make sure they don't finish without any points tonight. There's a good take from Tupou. Here's a chance for the Roosters. They bounce away from a couple of tackles. Perrott, wing, inside now. Lapini Paya throws it back to Amos Roberts. Roberts now dancing around the halfway line, away from Orford. Puts the head down and goes forward and is tackled 40 metres out from the line. Here's the last tackle. My apologies, it's only the 3rd tackle now. Anasta is tackled. That's tackle 4. Getting ahead of herself. 20 metres in from the touchline. I'm trying to find when the Roosters were last held to 0. Is now Wingers tackled just short of the 20-metre line. It was in 2004 against the Tigers at Campbelltown. Here's Sedamata Sark, ball knocked out by Manly. That'll be play on. Now accidental offside. It was a knock on anyway from Heath Lestrange. 2004 it was. Oh, sorry, when they were held to 2006 against the Bulldogs. 25-0, so it was only last year. The Roosters happy to see the clock wind down. I don't think Manly are in any hurry either, as Brett Stewart will play the ball. So Manly stay in touch with Melbourne at the top of the table and get a huge boost for their for and against. Cuthbertson, Hall under pressure, throws the ball away, and Glenn Stewart picks it up. Now he pops the ball out to Hicks. Hicks comes away from the touchline. Lapini Pay was over the top to make the tackle. Stewart. Now Cuthbertson. 30. There's a great ball to Orford. Where's Brett Stewart? He comes late, and Harrison is there to tidy up for the Roosters, and he tries to steal one-on-one. Brett Stewart, he's still going. Get some help from some mates. But there is that offload from Adam Cuthbertson again, and Matt Orford may have hurt himself there. They're coming his side to Orford. He's missed some football with a knee injury, and he's limping as well. The clock is winding down on this nightmare for the Roosters, and Astor with a little kick. Here's a chance for Manly. Orford, this'll test his knee. It seems to be okay. Williams is chasing. He can't get in, and Orford's knee is okay. And Manly finish with a try, although we're going to check it.
Just check for an offside there somewhere, mate.
And that well and truly rubs salt into the wounds for the Roosters. And Astor tried something, the final play he thought of the game, and Manly may have made him pay to make it 54-0, and Orford's knee looked pretty good there. We're going to check it. Was it charged down? Was it knocked on by Manly? The referee said no, play on. That's going to be fine. Bill Harrigan is going to check to see whether he went into touch, whether he did anything here untoward, got the ball down. And that should be a try. And Matt Orford thought his knee was dusty. That's a hat-trick for him as well, for Orford. Bill Harrigan, the man with the decision. This just prolongs the agony for the Roosters. And there's the try to Matt Orford. 54 points to nil with a kick to come. I don't know whether Matt Orford will have the energy to take the kick. Their equal third biggest win at Brookvale Oval, Manly, in nearly 600 games. And here it is again. At least Anasta was trying something. Monahan, the ball went backwards, says the referee, or the video referee in the end. And Orford, who was limping just seconds before, had too much pace for John Williams and gets himself a hat-trick. 54 points to nil, and it could be 56. Right on touch. Just outside the 20. What a horror night for the Roosters. What a big night for Manly. Equal third biggest winning margin ever at Brookvale Oval in over 580 games. Here's Orford. He's pulled it to the left as it's coming back. It's coming back. He's kicked the goal from touch to really rub salt into the wounds. And full time, a big night for Manly at Brookvale Oval. As we see the replay, it looked like it was going left. Then someone blew it back inside the left-hand upright. Matt Orford can't believe it. He thought he'd missed it. But in the end, it is a thumping. Manly has defeated the Sydney Roosters by 56 points to nil at full time here at Brookvale Oval.